I've generated over $10 million from B2B marketing in the last 5 years, and I've seen firsthand how hard marketing is getting. Buyers have become very savvy, they're less trusting, and your competition is increasing. These 9 B2B marketing tactics are actually working right now across multiple industries. You can use them to generate leads, book calls, and close deals regardless of your niche. The single most powerful B2B tactic in 2025 is founder-led content on LinkedIn. This approach literally built my agency to 7 figures, and so I'm talking about you as the leader consistently posting valuable content from your personal profile on LinkedIn. And the reason why this works so well is twofold. Firstly, the leads that come through your content convert at ridiculous rates. I'm talking a 30 to 60% close rate compared to the 5 to 10% you might get on cold outreach. Why? Because your potential customers trust founder content much more than any other type of marketing. They see you as this real person sharing expertise and not just another faceless brand trying to sell them something. Secondly, LinkedIn is where decision makers with real serious budgets hang out. One of my clients, for example, closed multiple $250K a year deals just by positioning himself as an authority through consistent LinkedIn content. And that all came from him posting regularly about his expertise. Now, I personally get it. Building a personal brand can feel daunting. I was personally terrified to hit publish at first too, because it might feel a little bit cringy. But when I started booking consistent calls, I'm talking 5, 10, 15, 20 consistent calls per month through organic content alone, my only regret was that I didn't start it sooner. So for you, what's the easiest way to begin? Simply, you can share your founder story, why you exist, what problem you're solving, and the journey you've been through so far. People love joining on the ride, and more importantly, they buy from people they feel, they like, and they trust, and they know. Now, tactic 2 is video explainers, and this is used to boost conversion rates. Now, normally on a website, you'll have a header, a subtitle, and some buttons. And you may even have some blocks beneath that go through features and benefits. But honestly, there's only so much you can communicate in those texts and in those blocks. I'm personally seeing a much higher conversion rate across the industry when talking SaaS, agency, B2B land with video explainers. Essentially, at the top of the page, have a video of you walking through your product or your solution. Video is such a rich format, it educates very, very well. And anyone who's watching that video is more likely to buy on the sales call. They're literally more bought in. And to do this, it's really simple. Just write a script, potentially get some slides ready, some case studies, and record a video on Loom. Now, a sales tool called Chorus AI did an analysis on 1 million sales calls. They found the most common reason buyers gave for not moving forward wasn't price, it wasn't competition, and it wasn't product, it was timing. This was by Chorus AI. They said why B2B deals really die. That means, and this may scare some of you, you actually have to wait for your leads to become buyers. But we don't want them to forget us and who we are, because this, the part where they start to convert, is where all the ROI is. So tactic number 3 is email nurture. And I suggest you have 2 very specific flows. Flow 1 is a new lead flow. Whenever a new lead comes into your funnel, aggressively, you should be sending them emails over the next 10 days to push them to take the next step. And these emails can educate, they can overcome objections, and they can share case studies. Now, flow 2 kicks in after the first 10 days. You're then going to put them into your regular newsletter flow. That means you should be sending them 1 to 3 emails per week as a regular newsletter subscriber. Now, eventually, over time, they will want to buy. They will have a desire, they will have the right time, maybe their decision makers are all aligned internally. And when that happens, you're going to be top of mind. Now, I've personally seen clients, and actually myself, book high ticket meetings months after someone joined my list, simply because I stayed and we stayed present and valuable in their inbox. For example, this is what one of my flows looks like when I have a low ticket customer come in. They go through an access email, they get a how to win, they get a profile email, and they go through about 10, 15 emails to make sure that they are getting nurtured consistently. Tactic number 4 is B2B Facebook retargeting ads, and it's really cost effective. I'm going to show you why and how it works. So normally, running B2B ads is quite expensive on platforms like LinkedIn, where the CPMs can cost $30 to $100. But running it on Facebook is really hard because it's not really a B2B platform. But there is a hack that is cheaper and gets you in front of qualified leads. You essentially head over to Facebook and you create a custom audience. You have to create audience, you create generate custom, and you fill it with people that have already done something in your funnel. Let's say it's a customer list, maybe it's an offline activity, maybe they've started a trial or booked in a call. Now with this customer list, we have some examples over here. You head over to campaigns and you load it up. Now you take this audience and you head over to Facebook. Now you set up a campaign to serve them case studies and handle objections. Here's one that we have running on literally $5 a day. It's really cheap, but it guarantees me impressions with a very small but very qualified audience. Tactic number 5 is tighter targeting. It's something I've learned the hard way too. You've got to get way more specific about who you're speaking to now because the market is just so competitive. The problem is most of us think that if we narrow down too far and we get too specific, we'll miss out on potential clients that are around the edges. But here's the truth, the opposite happens. I once worked with a business coach and we went from helping agencies to helping 100K a month agencies that were specifically in the content niche that specifically had a profit margin problem. And what happened was, guess what? Our close rate skyrocketed and we had people coming to us on sales calls saying, oh my God, your content was exactly for us. Because they're essentially saying, hey, this person gets me, they understand my exact problems. And here's a really simple way to do this. Look at your favorite clients, the one who pay you well, who get great results, and you actually enjoy working with. And think, what do they have in common? That's your target. Don't worry about excluding people too much. Trust me, it's better to have a perfect fit for 100 people than have an average option for 10,000. Tactic number 6 is publishing original data. And honestly, this works incredibly well to build awareness and credibility. Here's a really good example. There's a company called Databox. They're a SaaS company. And instead of saying generic stats like 65% of companies struggle with content, they survey their actual users and they're able to create reports that look like this and say things like, what percentage of your clients are on long-term retainers over 6 months? This information is not very easily gathered or found online, but Databox publish this so often because they have such awesome workflows to collect original data from their customers and from people they survey. Now, I don't think anyone else has this kind of data publicly available, which makes them have a really interesting moat. Now, if you want to do this, all you have to do is survey your users, your subscribers, your experts, and have them vote, score, or quantify their opinions on some sort of thing that's relevant for your ICP. These are now insights that no competitor can claim. They add to your credibility and they demonstrate real expertise because you're sharing real insights from real people and you can make the best content from it. Tactic number 7 is LinkedIn thought leader ads. This is one of the hottest ways to advertise right now because look at that. That does not look like an ad at all. The only reason why you might know that's an ad because it says promoted by Exit 5. Compare that to this ad over here from Epidemic Sound. It says try pro voiceovers in your own voice. It's got the CTA, it's got a link there. It's very clearly an ad and our brain just scrolls right through it. Now, instead of putting spend behind the same old promotional content from a company page, you do more of a sneak attack. You take someone your audience knows and trusts, an actual human being, in this case Dave Gedhart, and you have them spread the message for you. And as a result, I'm seeing really interesting metrics where my CTRs were, let's say, 0.4% on a company page. They're now 6% on a thought leader ad. That's a huge increase. I'm seeing cost per clicks at least half, and I'm seeing engagement rates at least double. It's actually incredible. And as a result, look at these metrics. I'm seeing CTRs of up to 18%, which is huge because compared to normal LinkedIn ads, you're getting around a 0.5%. Obviously, they go down a little bit lower, but you can sign some amazing winners here. And it's really, really simple to run them. Now, as a result of this ad not looking like an ad, your CTR goes massively high. We're talking 14%, 18%. Most often it's around 6%. As a result, down the funnel, you're obviously going to find cheaper cost per acquisitions, cheaper clicks, and so forth too. Now, to do this is really easy. You basically go onto your LinkedIn account and you search a member and you literally click request approval and you can take one of their posts and make an ad in a few clicks. Tactic number 8 is AI sales transcripts. Yes, that's right. We're finally talking about AI. And the biggest problem in B2B land is actually sales and marketing alignment. Basically, sales teams say marketing isn't giving them good leads. Marketing says, hey, these leads are fine. You just need to nurture them. Stop trying to sell them so early. Now, this is how you make sure all the leads sales gets are really qualified. And this is how you do it. You take a qualified sales call, you feed it into AI, and you extract ideas to use into marketing. This means all the things qualified leads are saying, you're pushing into more marketing to attract, guess what? More qualified leads. So literally I go into my Fireflies, I look for a qualified call to pick up on, I open it up, I then download the transcript, let's get it as a PDF for now. I then head over to ChatGPT, I upload the file, I then run over and grab one of my prompts. This is my prompt bank, which is really cool for LinkedIn. Let me know if you want this. There's a sales call analysis one. I copy paste it across. I'm going to copy paste this bit. Let's go copy paste. I'm going to say the name of my prospects. I'm going to click send and boom. It's going to analyze the sales calls and pump me back out my prospects pain points. For example, AI changing expectations. It's going to pump out how the growth slowed down, insecurities around pricing models and so forth. And I can then use these ideas and then push it back into a marketing post or a LinkedIn post and then get better leads in the future. It's amazing. Tactic number 9 is multi-attribution. It solves a huge headache knowing if your B2B marketing is actually working. Because with long sales cycles, multiple touch points, it's nearly impossible to know what's actually driving results. But I use a simple 3-step system that's free and cuts through all the confusion. One is I add a free form field to my booking forms that says, where did you hear about us? I let people answer that in their own words. For example, if they saw me on LinkedIn, they might write LinkedIn. They might even just write content. I've seen it happen before. Second, when they're on the sales call, I then ask them again, hey, how did you hear about us? And typically I actually get a more specific, more nuanced answer than I got previously. And thirdly, I use UTM codes everywhere. That's the end of the URL with a question mark UTM_source equals, and that pre-fills your CRM or your Google Analytics or your HubSpot with tracking data. This doesn't take much time to implement, but now for every single lead, you have 3 attribution tracking points. And what I find is they normally say 3 different things. And that's really interesting to save me time and help me understand where my prospects are coming from. Typically, this implies that the buyer journey is more convoluted than you think, and therefore we need to do more forms of marketing to make sure people are aware we exist. The B2B marketing landscape has changed so much in 2025, which means you need to adapt to new solutions to grow your business. And out of all the tactics I mentioned, LinkedIn has commonly come up as one of the best platforms to grow your B2B business today. So if you want to learn how I helped small LinkedIn accounts get rich on LinkedIn, click here to watch that video too.